Hi, and thanks for joining us. I'm ASI Media Executive Editor Sara Lavenduski, and today I'm joined by Tom Havens, Senior Vice President of Sales at Greater Pacific Industries, and he's going to talk about popular products, overseas sourcing, and his outlook for the rest of 2023. Tom, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Oh, happy to. Nice to see you.
You
And
too.
I want to apologize up front for the empty shelves on my wall. I just put those shelves up, and I have yet to put books and all my wonderful things that I've collected throughout the years that I put on my shelf as inspiration. So,
I really like those shelves. I really like those shelves. They're nice. They're great.
they're great. They look better when they have stuff on them. But
Right.
the whole time, my wife was like, "Wait, you got to like put your stuff on your shelves," and I just ran out of time. So
No,
anyway,
it looks
apologize for that.
there's so much potential for those behind you. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
So as you're thinking about what'll go on the shelves, and we're wondering about the popular products from overseas that you've recently sourced on behalf of distributors as well.
So that's a great question. For the most part, like drinkware is like, probably one of the more popular things that we source. And it's sort of cut and sew. So like backpacks and bags are always kind of like the top things that we do. But what it really comes down to, when I guess the way we think about, like, you know what is most important to a client, or like what is the greatest thing. Nowadays, like, it's rare that you find like one unique product that nobody knows about,
Hmm.
because once somebody finds a unique product, it goes on social media and it's no longer a unique product, like within days, right? And so so there's very little like, oh, God, we got a really cool thing going on right now, kind of a thing, because literally it becomes popular, like, pretty fast.
Hmm.
And so over the years, what we've really focused on is more of the distributors that we work with and the brands that they work with. So the end customers, doing a better job of understanding their brand. So the T-Mobiles of the world, the Nikes of the world, the Starbucks of the world, like, we do a deep dive into those brands and find out, like, what are their values, what are their emissions, what are their brand guidelines. The brand guidelines kind of give you the restrictions, but it doesn't tell you about the business, right? And so we understand the business. So as we are creating product for these clients, we're spending just way more time on the brand, so that we can create graphic elements, we can create colors, we can create designs that fit that brand and their personality. So
Hmm.
that's what clients are looking for. They're not looking for a really cool product with one color logo on it. They're looking for like a useful product that actually reflects their brand. And so we spend a lot more time doing that. And I think that's what's honestly gained our success here with the distributors that we work with, because they know their client, and then but they don't have the time that we have to do that deep dive research, from a creative standpoint. So I think that's to me, that's what's helped our success. And I think from the Microsofts of the world and the Starbucks of the world, the Nikes of the world, when they look at the types of things that we're providing them, and they see that we understand their brand, they love it, right? So that's kind of helped grow their business a little bit.
So have there been any, with that in mind, have there been certain product trends or product categories that have been in high demand recently?
Well, when you say recently, it's hard because people are like, "Hey, get me whatever you can, because like what's ever available," right? And so,
Yeah.
um, yeah, but I go, so one, like, there's this really cool new aluminum mug that changes colors when you pour cold water in it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this really cool thing. You'll probably see that on social media.
Hmm.
And so we have some exclusive arrangement with factories that has that. That's really been cool. But I would say that a lot of what we're doing is built around um, customers, employees. In terms of anniversaries, in terms of special events, and making sure that employees are well taken care of, and making sure that they feel part of the team, and that kind of stuff that's one category that we found is really popular. The other thing is that events are definitely coming back now, and so sales meetings and trade shows and that kind of stuff. They're not ordering the large quantities like they used to,
Mhm.
but those kind of events, are definitely coming back. I would say have been, super popular
Mhm.
from the types of things that we're doing. And again, doing things that are, we don't have products on the shelf, so we do everything completely custom. So we source, through China and Taiwan and Vietnam, a variety of countries outside the United States. So everything we do is completely custom. And what's cool about that is that sometimes somebody can say, "Oh, hey, here's a backpack. Can you do this?" But then we need to rebrand it to make it look like T-Mobile, or we need to rebrand to make it look like Chick-fil-A, right? And so we'll do that, and then we'll do all this really cool stuff to make it look like the brand from the client. And I think again, I just go back to like looking at the customer's brand itself, and transforming whatever this is, with a water bottle or a backpack or a bag, and transforming that into something that looks and feels and just like it has everything coming out of it from the brand. That's what gets people really, really excited.
Mhm. And also part of what your company does is you help clients navigate what can be a complicated process with selecting overseas factories, knowing how to do business with those factories, and navigating supply chain disruption. What does that look like right now? How has that changed in the past year or so?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like for the most part, we're back to normal. Even the pricing on containers has dropped like significantly. So I mean, I would say I feel like we're back to normal, except for like some of these minor threats, like in Canada, there's some strikes, and UPS is talking about striking right now. So I mean, a lot of that is out of our control. And so what we try to do, obviously, is prepare, what we're going to do if that happens. And so, a lot of that is just getting with our freight forwarder, trying to get more resources put together, talking to FedEx, talking to other folks that can do inland freight. So we just try to stay ahead of it as best as we can and look in our pipeline and see what's coming in, and just understand what's coming in, and try to do our best to just schedule that way far in front. So
Mm,
um so I would say that what has to happen is just longer planning for our clients. So like we're talking to distributors and saying, "Hey, like we did, whatever you guys did, some of these conferences coming up in the first part of the year, like we may want to start thinking about that now, because we might find it's going to take longer than the 21 days it takes to get here.
yeah.
So um but it's hard because distributors, and I was a distributor for many, many years. And it's hard to, like, you're just working daily, daily, daily. You're reacting to so many orders and so many requests that are going on. It's super hard to be strategic and super hard to plan ahead and be like, "Oh yeah, let's plan ahead 6 months." People are like, "6 months? Are you kidding me? I can't even plan for tomorrow." So
Yeah.
it's a tough way to go. So I'm not sure if I'm answering your question or not, but like just in terms of what we see is, certainly things are relatively back to normal. There's some threats that are going on that we need to plan for,
Yeah.
and we just have to plan ahead. And it's just a matter of like talking to our distributors, saying, "Hey, let's start thinking about, XYZ event or something that we did last year, and start really brainstorming that now,
Yeah.
and getting their customers to do that." So,
Sure.
which isn't easy. That's almost impossible.
Sure,
Yeah,
absolutely. And then
yeah,
with that in mind, kind of looking ahead, like we're finishing out, we're, a third of the way through Q3, heading into Q4. I know this year has been a little uncertain economically as far as like, there've been major tech layoffs and there were some bank crashes and people are kind of nervous and there's been some budget cuts and pulling back. But
yeah.
as far as like your clients and what they're looking forward to in Q4, what is your outlook for the rest of the year as we head into the really busy fourth quarter?
Yeah, I would say, how would I word it? Like proceed with caution is what our
Yeah.
clients are doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're not canceling anything right now,
Okay.
but they certainly, have their thumb on the pulse of what's going on. And we feel like
Mm,
a lot of the projects that we've done in the past are just a little bit on the fence as opposed to, oh, we're going to do that this year, And
yeah.
so it's kind of it's sort of a day by day situation. It feels,
Mm,
from our clients and again, we're working with distributors who are working with their clients. So we're kind of one step removed. Um,
right.
and so, it just feels like, people are proceeding with caution, is I
Mm,
guess the best way to put it. Like we
yeah.
haven't had a lot of canceled projects,
Okay.
our business, it was interesting. We had a really crazy low May, like,
Mm,
the worst month we've ever had.
mm,
And we're like, that's usually pretty busy. And then, all of a sudden now things are roaring back, and we've
mm,
got some just huge orders. So, um, yeah, it just, we haven't had too many things that have been canceled. In fact, I can't even think about anything that's truly been like, hey, no, we're not going to do that anymore.
yeah.
So, so for us, it's, uh, we just have to kind of follow the lead of our distributors and just, again, we're probably communicating a little bit more than we've had in the past and,
Sure.
more like on a weekly basis. Hey, how's it going? How's business going for you?
Mm,
And the other thing that's interesting, there feels like there's this dichotomy in the market where, high tech and commercial real estate is just getting a beating right now. They're right.
yep. Oh, yeah.
But then you look at like service organizations and you look at some smaller to mid-sized companies that are really driving a lot and they're hiring a lot of employees.
Mm,
It's almost like the smaller companies are helping drive the business versus a lot of these bigger companies.
mm,
It's
mm,
just, yeah, it's an interesting time. I will say that. But for us right now, I would say that our sales, we're on track. We're a little bit behind from where we want it to be. But not much, I feel like we're feeling pretty good and our funnel's starting to get pretty full. So, I mean, right at the moment, like if I was to say like, are you positive, negative, or neutral? I would say I'm positive on what's going on. It's just we're proceeding with caution with our clients.
right. Right. Well said. Well, we really appreciate the important insights, Tom. Thank you so much for being here with us. Have a great day, everyone, and thanks for listening. Thank you again,
Uh,
Tom.
okay, talk to you soon. Bye now.
Thank you.